What is the best roller coaster in Europe? In my last few videos, me and my girlfriend Lucy have been traveling across Europe visiting as many theme parks as possible. In this fourth episode in the series, we're going to be finishing our road trip by visiting 3 theme parks, each home to some very strong contenders for the best roller coaster in Europe. But before we get into that, if you do go on to enjoy this video, then consider subscribing to the channel. There's many more videos on the way. So welcome into Walibi Belgium. Walibi Belgium is a fairly average theme park with not the heaviest of theming, but I suppose it probably doesn't help that the 2 days prior were spent at Phantasialand, which is one of the best themed theme parks in the world. Lucy's a bit scared of the drop tower, aren't you, Lucy?
No.
No. It's Tiki Waka. There. We're currently walking to the very back of the theme park where Conda is located, the park's brand new signature roller coaster. This coaster is a big contender for being one of Europe's best roller coasters, and thus relates to the title of the video. So we best get a move on and get over there. As you can tell, this roller coaster is designed to be an airtime beast, with a whole load of unique and quirky elements just designed to make you feel like you're coming out of your seat. This is especially true towards the end of the ride, with a series of bunny hop hills, one after the other, which takes you right up to the brake run. It's manufactured by Intamin, and they really know what they're doing when it comes to airtime. The ride has a top speed of just over 70 miles an hour and costs 25 million euros to build. It has a ride time of 1.5 minutes and has a max height at the top of its lift hill of 164 feet. This is a fantastic roller coaster, and the theming didn't disappoint either. But there's another ride in this park that impressed me just as much as Conda, and that's Pulsar. Pulsar is a launched shuttle water coaster, which in itself sounds impressive, and combined with its super cool turntable dispatching method and the actual ride itself just being super fun, I just think it's a really cool concept that I think we should see more of these in more theme parks. Just a couple more notes before we move on from Walibi Belgium. If you ever visit this park, please make sure to ride the Tutankhamun shooter ride in the back left corner of the park. Doesn't look like much from the outside, but it is such a good dark ride, and we were totally blown away because we had never even heard anyone talk about this ride. And the last thing that unfortunately makes the park a little bit of a letdown right at the end of the day is that they closed their queue lines at basically random times before the stated closing time for the park. So you can't really predict your last ride. But now it's time to get back on the road and head to Bobbejaanland, where the next contender for Europe's best roller coaster lies in the form of Fury. This new Gerstlauer launched roller coaster allows riders to choose which direction they face throughout the main portion of the ride, forwards or backwards. Are we going to go backwards? Yes, we are. We're going backwards. Fury is a launched Gerstlauer roller coaster that opened in 2019. It launches you 3 times, gradually getting faster and faster until you make it over the first hill, to which you'll complete the rest of the layout. The arrow buttons on the lap bars that you can see in the video are what's used by the riders that chose to go down the separate queue line in the station that allows you to choose whether you go forwards or backwards once you've taken your seat on the ride. The other queue line in the station is just for people who want to ride facing forwards. Upon taking your seat and pulling down your bar, the buttons will light up indicating that you are now able to choose forwards or backwards, and depending on what gets the most votes on your train is how you're going to ride the ride. It's a super cool concept which allows a bit of interactivity between the riders, and I'd love to see more concepts like this implemented in future roller coasters. There's not much else to talk about at Bobbejaanland except from this Kong ride, which is absolutely terrifying and more entertaining for people off-ride than actually anyone riding it. And of course this indoor roller coaster which features the world's longest roller coaster train. It was a nice theme park with some nice rides, but it's certainly not anywhere we're going to be rushing back to anytime soon. We were slightly distracted during our day here though, because our accommodation for that evening had completely cancelled on us, meaning that we had nowhere to stay, and we were a bit worried about that. So we contacted booking.com, who we booked through, and they actually arranged a new place for us, which actually ended up being Lucy's Lucy's idea of heaven, because it was a stunning farmhouse in the middle of these beautiful fields full of cats. You couldn't make this up. Lucy absolutely loves animals and pets, and we pull up and all of these cats and kittens come out of the darkness to welcome us to this property. But where are we heading next? Well, seeing as we're heading back up towards the Eurotunnel, we figured we would save the best named theme park till last, Plopsaland. And there it is, Plopsaland. Let's go in and ride to happiness. No, there isn't some sort of deep meaning to that. Ride to Happiness is the name of their brand new roller coaster that is honestly something really special.
You ready? Whoa! Oh my god! Oh my god!
As you can tell by my reaction, this coaster is something else. Its launches are insanely punchy, and that combined with the spinning element of the ride's vehicles, just the unpredictability of whether you're going to be facing forwards or backwards is just unmatched. And to top it all off, the trains actually have speakers on them playing onboard audio as well. It's just so cool. As someone who's experienced the park both before and after it was built, I can safely say it's honestly like the park's had a new centerpiece installed with how it goes over the lake and the views that you get both on and off ride.
That's amazing!
Other great attractions at this park include Heidi, which is a brilliant family GCI wooden roller coaster. It's obviously not the most thrilling wooden roller coaster in the world because it's designed for families, but it is definitely a very fun little ride. And Anubis, which is a brilliant Gerstlauer launched roller coaster with one of the craziest LSM launches ever. And also lots of animals. This cat invaded our lunch. But honestly, I'd recommend a trip to Plopsa to anyone in the UK, seeing as it's so easy to get to. It's just across the channel. As long as you can drive, you can get there in no time. But now to answer the question that's in the title of this video, what is the best roller coaster in Europe? Well, before this trip, my favourite roller coaster in the world that I had experienced was Zadra at Energylandia. And now, after the road trip, I can confirm that my favourite has changed. But not to one of the coasters in this video, to one in the previous video. My personal favourite roller coaster is now Fly at Phantasialand. Just for its theming and experience alone, it is just such an incredible roller coaster. But Ride to Happiness has taken my number 2 spot. Ride to Happiness was so close to taking the number 1 spot, and honestly, if it had the same level of theming as Fly, then it would absolutely be on the top spot. Me personally, I'm a theming nut, so I just love themed experiences. I feel like they play a massive part into what makes a roller coaster good. That's why I love Baron 1898 so much at Efteling. Even though the coaster's layout is quite short, I love the full experience of the ride, and that's why I rank it so highly. But yes, after this road trip, my number 1 spot goes to Fly, and number 2 is taken by Ride to Happiness. But now I want to know what your favourite European roller coasters are. Drop them in the comments below, and I can't wait to read them all later. But that'll do it for this video and this series of us driving across Europe. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that I know that you liked it. And there'll be more videos coming to the channel very soon, so stay tuned. Until then, thanks for watching.